In this installment, we're going to be going over the MLB bet slate for Friday, August 23rd. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our August 23rd MLB bet slate we got going on for Friday. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetShetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 8.13 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we are well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you're already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That's going to help the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a much broader audience. All right. And also, if you want to sign up for that Patreon, that link is provided down below. You get access to daily bets, future bets, and the community group chat that people are going off 24/7 in that community with plays, ideas. Everything is in that package. All right. Also, down below. All right. Betstamp article. All right, Monday through Friday they give you free bets. Tuesday is going to be home run plays, but the other days will be money line plays for MLB. So sign up, click that link down below in that description section so you can go over and see the free bets that they got going on for Friday. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with Betstamp and Sign Up Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. First game up in the PNC Park, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates 59-67 going up against the Cincinnati Reds 62-65. Pirates are home favorites here, -120 on the money line with the comeback of the Reds at a +100. Total runs set at 8.5. All right. Starting pitching matchup: Andrew Abbott 10-10 with a 3.72 ERA going against Bailey Falter 6-7 with a 4.02 ERA. All right, Andrew Abbott here has been one of the solid bright marks here for the Cincinnati Reds rotation. Looking at some of his numbers, he's a left-handed pitcher, but he's have some major right-handed issues. Okay, versus righties here, his home run per 9 is a 2.08, so that's really bad right there. Other than his home run per 9, he's given up a 10% walk rate and a 1.24 whip versus righties. He's going to see about 8 righties here in the lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, so that's a major concern there when we're looking at his numbers. Bailey Falter, on the other end, he's a guy that's been pretty solid this season, mainly better at home. All right, and we get him in a situation here when he's in PNC Park, has a 3.61 ERA at home. He's been very good against the left-handed bats. And some of his numbers versus righties: a 1.47 home run per 9, a 264 batting average, which is not that bad. It's pretty low. And the whip is at a 1.33 whip. All right, so the whip is slightly higher there. But I'm going to be trusting him in this spot at home against this Reds offense here. And I think that these Pirates bats can get to Andrew Abbott. All right. So for this one here, we're going to be going with the Pittsburgh Pirates on the money line. And for the over-under, we're going to be going with the under 8.5 runs here. I don't expect this to be offense galore on both sides. Andrew Abbott is pretty decent on the road, but he has righty issues. And Bailey Falter has been pretty solid at home. All right. So I like the under on the 8.5. And I think the Pirates can get this win here on the money line. In Yankee Stadium here, we have the Colorado Rockies 47-81 going up against the New York Yankees 75-53. Looking at the current odds here, Yankees solidified home favorites -275 on the money line with the comeback of the Rockies at a +230. Total runs set at 8.5. Starting pitching matchup here: Kyle Freeland, 3-5 with a 5.97 ERA, going up against Carlos Rodon, 13-8 with a 4.34 ERA. This matchup here is completely one-sided. Carlos Rodon has been outstanding at home with a 3.39 home ERA. He's given up a low whip and average to both lefties and righties. His only blemish is going to be the home run ball versus lefties, a 1.80 home run per 9, and versus righties, a 1.49 home run per 9. All right, so only issue there, watch out for the home run ball for Carlos Rodon. Kyle Freeland, on the other hand, has been struggling on the road mightily, might I say. All right. For some reason, he's been fantastic at home in Coors Field, but when you get him outside of Coors Field, he's just the worst pitcher in the world. All right. 8.23 ERA on the road versus righties. It's a 2.25 home run per 9, a 3.67 batting average, a 1.84 whip, and BABIP over 400. All right, versus lefties. When the lefty versus lefty does tend to happen, it's a 3.33 batting average and a 2.00 whip. So both lefties and righties here. This is a left-handed pitcher, so it's going to be a few and far between there when you see a lefty versus lefty, but it will occur. All right, he has been struggling versus them as well. All right, this is going to be a complete sweep here for the Yankees. Yankees on the money line, Yankees minus 1.5. And even though it's one-sided, this is that type of offense that can really pour on the points here. Give me the over 8.5. Also, Rockies do have a outside chance of hitting a couple of home runs here against Carlos Rodon. All right, so Yankee sweep, total over 8.5. In the Rogers Center here, we have the LA Angels 54-74 going against Toronto Blue Jays 60-68. Looking at the odds for this one, Blue Jays minus 190 on the money line with the comeback of the Angels at a plus 155. Total runs set at 8.5. Public bet percentage here, 90% of the bets, 97% of the money on the side of Toronto. For the total, 81% of the bets, 84% of the money towards the over 8.5. Or the starting pitching matchup, Jack Conchaus, I can't even say his last name. Jack going up against Chris Bassitt here. Jack is 1-3 with a 6.53 ERA. Chris Bassitt is 9-12 with a 4.34 ERA. Chris Bassitt, he's been okay this year. All right. His home ERA, 4.67 ERA versus lefties. He's given up a 1.69 home run per 9, a 1.38 whip. Versus righties, a 3.03 batting average, a 1.51 whip, and the BABIP is at 390. All right. Despite of those somewhat concerning numbers, he has dominated the Angels in previous starts when you're looking at BVP. A 143 batting average, 9 strikeouts, but only in 35 at bats. So short sample size, but he has pitched well against them. Benefit is that Jack here on the other end has been absolutely horrible. He's a righty pitcher that can't pitch to righties, all right? Versus right-handed at bats, 2.61 home run per 9, an 11% walk rate, a 3.16 average, and a 1.65 whip. Versus lefties, he's given up a 3.66 batting average, a 1.65 whip, and the xFIP is over 5 to both lefties and righties. So he's absolutely a gas can here. So the top play will be the over on 8.5. I see clearly on the Angel side, Jack giving up a ton of runs. He has issues versus lefties and righties. And then Chris Bassitt, even though he can have a great start here and there, I do see him giving up some runs against this Angel offense. So I like the over on the 8.5. But we're going to be sticking with the Toronto Blue Jays at home here on the money line. And I can actually see them winning comfortably here. Let's take that minus 1.5 as well. Next up in Fenway Park here, we have the Arizona Diamondbacks 72-56. Going against the Boston Red Sox 67-59. For the current odds, Red Sox home favorites minus 140 with the comeback of the Diamondbacks at a plus 115. Total runs set at 9.5. For the public bet percentage, 85% of the bets and money on the side of the Boston Red Sox here. For the total runs, 61% of the bets, 64% of the money towards the over 9.5. Starting pitching matchup: Ryan Nelson here, 8-6 with a 4.35 ERA, going against Brian Bello here, 11-5 with a 4.80 ERA. So for Brian Bello and the Red Sox, he's going to be the guy we're going to be questioning here because he's had a ton of struggles this year. Right now, his home ERA is 5.20, and looking at his numbers, it is not good to lefties and to righties here. Versus lefties, a 1.53 home run per 9, a 10% walk rate, a 261 batting average, and a 1.43 whip. Versus righties, a 1.26 home run per 9, a 9% walk rate, 310 batting average, and a 1.67 whip to go with a BABIP over 400. So that does not bode well here going up against this Diamondbacks team that can string some pretty good offense here. Ryan Nelson, his strength is pitching on the road because outside of Chase Field, which is very offensive friendly there, he has been pretty solid with a 3.86 ERA. When we're looking at his numbers, he just has a lefty power issue with a 1.63 home run per 9. And versus righties, he's giving up some hits here, a 297 average and a 1.55 whip. I think the cause of concern is going to be on the Brian Bello side because time in and time out, this man has continued to falter in certain situations here. And I like the Diamondbacks on the road in this one. I think it's too heavy, sharps and public on the side of the Red Sox here. With they thinking that this is a layup matchup when the advantage is on the side of the Diamondbacks. I think so in the pitching department going up against Brian Bello. So we're going to take advantage of him. Give me the Diamondbacks on the money line at a plus 115. And I am going to go towards the over 9.5 runs in this particular matchup. In Progressive Fields here, we have the Cleveland Guardians 73-54 going against the Texas Rangers 59-69. For the current odds here, we have the Guardians home favorites minus 140 with the comeback of the Rangers at a plus 115. Total runs set at 7.5. No current information yet on the public bet percentage here. So going right over to the starting pitching, Nathan Eovaldi 8-7 with a 3.76 ERA going against Tanner Beebe 10-5 with a 3.33 ERA. All right, for the Guardians, Tanner Beebe has been absolutely phenomenal at home when he has pitched here. As you can see, looking at that record in ERA, has been very, very formidable here with a 3.99 home ERA. He's given up a very low whip and average to both lefties and righties in his matchups so far this year. He faced the Texas Rangers already earlier in the season a couple months ago. That was 5 1/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, and that was a 7-0 comfortable win for the Guardians and Tanner Beebe in that one. Nathan Eovaldi, on the other hand, here has been great at home. He's been great at Globe Life Field here. A little bit of a different story on the road, and that's where some of his previous ailments tend to creep up. Versus righties, a 1.38 home run per 9 and a 1.31 whip versus righties. Against lefties, he's given up a pretty substantial average and whip. So a 311 batting average to lefties and a 1.75 whip to add on a 10% walk rate. So he's given up a lot of opportunities here against these left-handed bats here. I'm going to be going with the Guardians and their strong offense going up against Nathan Eovaldi on the road. If they're going to keep giving up, if he's going to keep giving up these opportunities here with letting guys on base and these high batting averages, I'm going to be leaning towards the stronger offense here. I believe so in the Guardians and leaning on Tanner Beebe, that I think is the better pitcher at home. So give me the Guardians on the money line at a minus 140. If I had to go with the over-under, this will be an under 7.5 runs. I think it's going to be one-sided here, and Tanner Beebe throws another stellar performance like he did about 3 months ago. In Truist Park here, we have the Atlanta Braves 68-59 going against the Washington Nationals 58-70. Looking at the current odds for this one, Atlanta Braves minus 265 on the money line. Nationals on the comeback at a plus 215. Pitching matchup here, Mackenzie Gore 7-11 with a 4.66 ERA, a 1.58 whip. Going up against Chris Sale, who's been absolutely phenomenal this year, 14-3 with a 2.62 ERA and a 1 whip. All right, so not much to say about Chris Sale here. He's been literally Cy Young candidate, has been phenomenal, back to his old self. He has 200 strikeouts, man, 187 strikeouts. Chris Sale has been phenomenal, all right? Mackenzie Gore, on the other end, has struggled mightily this season. He has a 5.06 ERA on the road. He's been absolutely horrible in his last 5 starts. He's given up 24 earned runs in the last 5 games and 13 walks, all right? So all this information here, you're thinking this should be a slam dunk for the Atlanta Braves. You should hold on one more second, all right? Mackenzie Gore versus the Atlanta Braves this year. He's faced them twice, at home and on the road. He has dominated the Braves this year. All right, 10 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, and 17 strikeouts. I don't know what it is, but they cannot handle Mackenzie Gore. All right, so this game here, we're going to be on the side of the underdogs on the Washington Nationals, and we're going to be rocking with the Nationals at a +1.5, since that is a very good number that you're seeing right there. Give me that +1.5 on the Nationals. If I'm going towards an over-under, give me the under on the 7.5. I think it's going to be a pitching duel between both of these guys. Everyone's going to be smashing in the over. I think this is a sneaky under spot here, under 7.5. And give me the Nationals on the run line, +1.5. Last but not least here, we have the Chicago White Sox, 31-97. Going against the Detroit Tigers here, 62-66. Looking at the current odds here, we got the Tigers road favorites, -165 on the money line, with the comeback of the White Sox at a +140. Total runs set at 8.5. All right, starting pitching matchup here, Keider Montero, 4-5 with a 5.28 ERA. Going against Chris Flexen here, 2-12 with a 5.46 ERA. For this pitching matchup here, Keider Montero, 4.76 ERA on the road. Versus righties are going to be his main struggles. He has been pretty solid against lefties. All right, versus righties, a 2.13 home run per 9, a 306 batting average, and a 1.42 whip. So pretty not good numbers there versus righties. He's going to see 4 righties in this lineup here for the White Sox. All right. Remember, his strong suit is against lefties. He's going to see around 5 lefties in here. So that's going to be the positive note. For Chris Flexen, he has a 4.37 home ERA. He's given up some numbers to lefties and righties. All right. Versus lefties, a 2.51 home run per 9, a 10% walk rate, a 294 batting average, and a 1.71 whip. Versus righties, a 10% walk rate and a whip at 1.31. He's not giving much in the power department versus righties, but he's definitely giving lefties and righties an opportunity with this very high walk rate. So Tigers getting opportunity to get men on base, plus the lefty issue that we've seen from Chris Flexen does not bode well. So for this one here, I'm going to have to go with the road favorites here in Detroit Tigers. Plus, when we looked at Chris Flexen, he struggled mightily against this current Detroit Tigers lineup here. The BVP I saw was a 438 batting average, 2 home runs, and only 16 at-bats. So small sample size, but it's not a good sample size. And it's the Chicago White Sox here. So this is a perfect spot here for the Detroit Tigers to get back on track here. I like them on the money line. And for the over-under, I'm going to be leaning towards the over 8.5 runs. Both of these pitchers can be liabilities here. So definitely like the over on the total. But I do see the Tigers getting this win here. All right. So those are going to be our selections for the Friday slate in MLB. Let me know in that comment section down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know some props and plays that you're definitely going for Friday. We can definitely debate about that. If you want to sign up for that Patreon, remember that's provided down below in that link. We're gearing up for the NFL season. I'm going to repost my future bets for MLB. That's what we're going to be rocking with here. But football is right around the corner, and we're going to be ready for September 5th. Can't wait for that to start here. So get connected down below in that Patreon. Also, in that description section will be the BetStamp link to the article for more free bets. So you have, don't worry, go down there if you want to see some more free bets. It's going to be in that link for BetStamp as well. And I'll be back with another video very soon. All right, peace out.